Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I am your hostess, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So we got another hot take from Corey Holcomb, and once again, he's not wrong with what he is saying. Recently at, I think it was the BET Awards or what have you, there was, well, not necessarily at the awards, but you know, there are always events that surround the award show, the different little interviews and different little things of that nature. And so Ciara ended up sort of crashing an interview that was going on with Jim Jones. Now, for those of you who know Jim Jones as the rapper, but then there are also those of you who know Jim Jones from the reality show, Love and Hip Hop New York. You know, him and Chrissy were on there for quite a few seasons. And one of the big storylines at one point on the reality shows was whether or not they were going to get legally married. Okay. If you don't know, Jim Jones and Chrissy been together since forever. I think it's been like really like on the real, like about 25 years or so. Like it's been a minute. Like they've been together longer than a lot of people's marriages, to be honest with you. And so they've been an item the whole time. And so, like I said, on the reality shows at one point years ago, that was a big storyline topic. You know, there was an episode on Love and Hip Hop where she proposed to Jim Jones and, you know, all of this sort of thing. So it's kind of been a recurring thing every time they kind of show up on any reality show. So some of you may know about, you know, Jim Jones and Chrissy from the reality shows. However, be that as it may, whether they made their marital status public, talked about it, you know, you had other people talking about it because it was made public and on a reality show. If anybody was reviewing the reality shows and things of that nature, may have had their own opinion about it. However, it's kind of old. It's old news. It's not kind of old news. It's old news. And the bottom line is that it ain't nobody business in reality. You know, like in their life, in Jim and Chrissy's life, it doesn't matter what other people think they should do. They are doing it. And no matter how many times you might see a clip of Chrissy sort of discussing it with Jim about how she don't like it or how she wanted to or whatever issues she may have with it, the bottom line is that she's still there. She's still with him. She didn't leave. And that's her choice. Nobody can do nothing about that, whether you agree with it or not. So I'm giving kind of that backstory because I want people to understand that the Jim Jones Chrissy saga has at least in part played out in public. So now this sort of leads into Ciara, and I'm going to show you the clip that Corey's referring to. But we're actually going to let him state his opinion because he shows a little bit of the clip, but it's so fast you don't really hear it or get it. But again, I'm going to show the actual clip that he's actually referring to. So
when you have a lady that is supposed to be your wife, if you're married to a woman, it is my opinion she should never do this. Can we play the video from the beginning right there? Play that.
Guys, how are y'all? I got my crap.
Hold up on it. Don't sit down.
Oh, come on, because we need this to happen.
Let me tell y'all something. That's Ciara, married to the quarterback, Russell Wilson. Now she's his wife, right? This woman just interrupted an interview, interjected her opinion as she talking to another man. You see how he looking? He's trying to be respectful. Right. Everybody trying to be respectful because it's Ciara.
Right.
He looks so uncomfortable.
Don't he look? He's trying to be cool. Jim Jones trying to be a good guy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man. There's no way you can protect a woman who's bold enough to do that. And this is stuff that is just not taught to people. You cannot protect a woman that will interrupt an interview like this, sit her funky ass down, and start speaking to another man about marriage. We don't understand how important this is. We know everything about Russell Wilson just by watching that right there. You have no control of your woman. Your woman has no respect for you because I don't care if you're not with her. Russell Wilson is probably trying to be at camp getting ready for the NFL season. Yeah. He couldn't make it to the BET Awards this year. Your woman ain't got no business stopping an interview, sitting on a couch with some men she don't know, and then start telling another man about what he supposed to do with a woman. Now, we act like this ain't serious, but this is one of the breakdowns of society. This is foul behavior from anybody's wife. If that was my wife, I would be so mad. We would have a real issue with. Do you see Jim Jones? Yeah. These are some good guys, man.
I am so curious to see what he said. I'm gonna have to look.
I mean, he tried to be a good guy. But I'm gonna tell you something for those who will listen, especially the women that's watching the show. You don't need to represent yourself and your husband like that. Because you have basically, like if you married, right? Yeah. We know she got a baby by Future and all like that, and we've heard stories about, you know, the son had to be around Russell Wilson and all that. It just basically shows that your husband is simp because of how you represent him in the streets. You don't walk up, I'm talking to the women of the world, you don't impose yourself in conversations, whether it's an interview, whether it is a man who, if you in public and you married, let's say a man started talking to you. Do you know the first thing you're supposed to tell that man? Sir, I'm married and, you know.
I'm spoken for,
yeah. Please, you know, woo, woo, woo. But some people would be like, that's if he flirting with you. But if you see two men outside of, I'm trying to think of a safe place. If you see two men outside the courthouse, and they're talking about a case that all three of y'all was in, you're not supposed to walk up to them men and interject yourself in the conversation, especially if you don't know them.
Nope. You're putting your husband
taboo when you have.
Now, just so y'all understand what he is referring to, he's actually referring to this right here, this little segment here.
Guys, how are y'all? I got my crap.
Come sit down.
Oh, come on, because we need this to happen. I'm sorry, because I just really need this to happen. I don't want you to be mad at me because I don't know how you're going to feel, but I really need y'all to just go ahead and I'm coming in hot. No. Should I just stay on what I'm on right now?
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna stay on it because why not? Why not? Like y'all have like lived life in every capacity anyone could live it in. You're living like you've already done it. So let's just seal it properly. Seal it properly because you know what? He deserves it. You deserve it. Why not? Like I look at y'all and I'm like, they're so cute, they're so fly. Guys, how are y'all? Chrissy is so beautiful and so dope, and she holds you down, like down, down, down. Like this is a spirit talking through me right now. I'm just saying, like I saw you and I got excited because I love what you are when you meet to music and what you meant to me coming up. And also when I see y'all, like from a love perspective, y'all like touch so many people. It's time. It's time.
But let me be your flower.
Okay.
You said to give you them words of encouragement and words of advice. I really need it.
Yay, I appreciate that. That means so much to me. Whoa, you think you got good? Come on, man. Awesome. Chrissy is.
Now, there are probably those of you who are thinking, well, she wasn't being disrespectful with how she was talking to him. And that's not really the point. The point is she may not have been using a disrespectful tone. I would agree. She's not using a disrespectful tone. She's not, you know what I'm saying, using a bossy tone necessarily either. However, it's still not her place. And that was Corey's point. It's not nobody's place, really, to at least publicly, even if you're cool enough to talk to Jim Jones in that fashion about his personal life. Let's say she's cool enough with him, which it really don't seem like they're friends necessarily, like personal friends. Because she was trying to give him like his professional flowers, like what he meant to her growing up musically, like as a professional. And he kind of returned the same thing. And he didn't say anything. He didn't get angry. He didn't get upset. He was smiling the whole time. So he's being diplomatic. He's being professional. He's not getting out of sorts or anything like that. But the point that Corey was trying to make, that a lot of people probably are not going to see, or they're not going to see the problem with this, is that Jim Jones is a grown man and Chrissy's a grown woman. And no matter what anybody opinion, my opinion, Corey's opinion, Ciara's opinion, anybody's opinion on how they conduct a relationship, whether you agree that it's okay that they have not done any ceremony, maybe they don't want to do the legal ceremony, but as far as we know, as the public, they have not done a spiritual ceremony. Maybe they don't want to do that, whatever the case may be. Maybe you agree with that and that's okay. And maybe you disagree with that and say, this is not okay. Whatever it is kind of opinion you got, it is out of bounds to come to a public venue where this man is conducting an interview and insert yourself about what you think he should do with his woman that he been with for like 25 years. Because if they was gonna hop a broom, they'd have did it by now. And if they ain't gonna hop that broom, nobody's opinion gonna make them do it. Let's say, for instance, and I don't know this to be true, but let's say, for instance, her and Chrissy are real close. Let's say her and Chrissy are friends. And Chrissy may sometimes express whatever her thoughts and feelings are about her and Jim Jones' relationship. Let's just say. That's still not something you carry to her husband or her man. That's not something that you carry to that. That's their business. Even if let's say, like I said, Chrissy's like your girl, your home girl, and she, get frustrated and she talk to you about whatever she say, and you be your job is say, okay, girl, girl, I feel you. That's your job in that instance, because there's nothing for you to do. Because like I said at the beginning of this video, Chrissy not going nowhere. They've been together for 25 years. Chrissy ain't going nowhere, and Jim Jones don't look like he's going nowhere. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You just need to hope you and Russell stay together 25 years. You do that. Because you get out here and you be doing whatever as that man's wife. We ain't even gonna get too far into that. But I have had my commentaries before on some of the things that Ciara has done You know what I'm saying? As a public figure and as a married woman, as a public figure. And her husband is also a public figure. So to wrap it up, yeah, I agree that this was out of bounds. It just wasn't her business. It just wasn't her place. It just wasn't her place to say it. It just wasn't her place to say it. Especially if you ain't cool with Jim like that. You got to be cool with somebody to talk to them like that. And if you real cool with that person, I'm not having this conversation in front of people. This will be a conversation we have when we on the phone or we kicking it or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you cool enough to say that. Because sometimes you don't be cool enough to say certain things to people. Because they're going to look at you sideways like who you even talking to at this point. You know, even if they agreed or whatever what you said, it's like it's the messenger at this point. Because me and you don't kick it. We don't kick it cool enough for you to have this conversation with me. I feel like you overstepping your bounds. And again, once again, Jim, he didn't overstep. He didn't say nothing. He was very kind and very gracious about it. But it still was, in my opinion, that was not the time or the place, nor was that her place to say that to him in his face, talking to a man about what he need to do in his personal relationship with the woman he been with. I'm more than sure him and Chrissy have had these conversations. And whatever conclusion and answer they came to is the answer, regardless of anybody else's opinion, including yours truly. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.